Hello everyone, and welcome to a tutorial about using Portrait Pro for bulk retouching. Today we're going to go over some bridal portraits that I did a few years ago. This part is facial retouching, and then we're going to jump into using the new Portrait Pro body software in the next video. So anyways, oh, by the way, my name's Dustin Meyer, so thanks for watching. Okay, so I've already exported the images. We're going to go into Open Image Batch. And let's see here. And I picked a variety of images just to show you guys how the facial detection works. So let's go ahead and open those. We're going to save to a subfolder. That way we don't override the originals. By the way, I'm also working off of JPEGs. I just find that it helps the software move a little bit quicker. Let's see. Add a suffix. I usually put _edit. Saved image type, JPEG quality very high. Gender is automatic. Set age automatic. And we're just going to use the standard presets for the faces, because what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the first one and then create a we're going to create a custom preset for our bride. Okay, so let's see here. The first thing I am going to do is I'm going to find an image where it's going to be more straightforward. So yes, we've got female, continue, and now Portrait Pro will automatically create the outlines of the face for the different features, but I'm a little bit more of a perfectionist, so we're going to I'm going to show you guys what I do to kind of adjust it, for just to make it a bit more specific. Plus, we'll be doing this a couple of times for each image just to make sure that everything looks good. So over here, we're in this area where it's already kind of preset. For the most part, it did an amazing job. Now, I could adjust the outlines over here. However, I find that it's a little bit quicker if you go back to the opening sequence, or sorry, open dialog. So we're going to click back, and I just find that it goes a little bit faster using, if you go back and kind of do this manually. There we go. I mean, for the most part, it's almost dead on. I mean, look at the jawline, the nose. The eyebrows, I just had to adjust a little bit. The eyes themselves look great. I'm just going to go in here. Now, one thing that you need to make sure of is that if the mouth is open or closed, make sure that you actually, because like what I could do is I could just take this and drag it here for mouth closed, but since it's not, let me just go back. Whoop. Let's see, edit. We're just going to bring it down a little bit like that. And you don't have to be super specific unless your subject needs like a good amount of teeth whitening. Then you do have to be a little bit more specific on making sure these outlines match up. Okay, again, jawline looks incredible. Hairline right up where the hair meets the scalp. Everything else looks great. So we're just going to click next. We're going to let it do its job. Okay. And then if you just mouse over this window over here, the outlines will go away so you can get a more clear picture of before and after. Okay, so as you can see, it already enhanced some of the color. I do see a couple spots over here where it automatically tried to do some spot removal. So what I'm going to do first is, the first thing I do is face sculpting. So it's easier for me if I just zoom all the way out, and so I click on Fit. And then I look at the same thing over here. We look at face sculpt, and it did just a little bit. One thing I always have it do is I'll take the neck and go all the way up. I went ahead and saved over the standard female preset to include having the neck adjusted. The reason why I like having the neck is I like having a nice long neck because it helps hide any double chin. It just makes it look more graceful, plus, more taller, more taller. Anyways, so with the sliders here, for the most part, this is all I really need to use, but I want you to watch the face. In fact, I'm going to zoom in here and just watch. So I'm probably, I try not to go too extreme with it, so we might go about halfway. If I go too extreme, then they start to look, not the same. And then I'm going to use the eyes. Let's see, left eye, I'm going to adjust that to where it's a bit more level, and then I'm going to go down to eye widening and then widen the left a little bit just to make it match up. I mean, that's incredible. That's almost scary how good that is. So there we go. Okay, so next we'll close that. Again, we have a few spots over here, so we're going to go into skin smoothing controls, remove shine. She doesn't have too much, so I'm going to bring it down just a little bit to create some dimension so it doesn't look too plastic. And then we've got it on smooth fine hairs. Let's see, for texture, what I'm going to do is, let's see here, and I'm just kind of winging it right now, so you guys kind of get to see a little bit of like my editing process. So let's see, texture. Sometimes I bring it down just to see how it looks, or you can bring it up. We're going to bring, let's see, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into restore, and I'm going to use the bracket keys to change the shape of my brush. Notice I've got the strength about halfway, and then we'll do that. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I would like to do it a bit more kind of hands-on. So what I'm going to do here is spacebar to grab, and then I'm going to take the strength and go down. I'm going to go over here and go to touch up to get out of the restore, and then I'm just going to gently kind of go over that a little bit. There we go. And now the other thing too is you have to watch out for making sure that the skin tone kind of matches, because that will also kind of affect whether or not the actual retouching or the spot removal works properly. So what I'm going to do here is go down from skin smoothing to skin coloring. So that helps a little bit. Turn off skin lighting. No, we're going to leave that. And we're just going to brush over that. There we go. See, we're learning something new every day. While we're in this area here, I'm also going to go over like the neck and the arms just to make sure it's, completely covered. And that way too, it just helps match the skin tone to the face, as well as smoothing the arms and the neck area the same way as well. So we're going to click OK, let it do its thing, and now let's see how we're doing here. Okay, that looks much better. In fact, I'm just going to come in just a little bit and just go over that just a tad. We don't want to get rid of too much stuff, especially if it's like something that's natural. So okay, and then now I feel like the skin coloring is a little too much, so I'm going to bring it in just a tad. And notice sometimes I do add a little bit of tan, but she's already kind of got a tan complexion, so I'm going to bring that down to 0. And then on the skin coloring, I'm going to go to natural, and it just gives a little bit of a healthy glow. All right. Now, one thing I do really like is the hair controls, because what I can do here is go in and I'm going to edit hair area. I can go in and actually kind of smooth over, kind of create a little bit of extra, I don't know, just a little bit of smoother contour to the hair. So painted that, click OK, and then go to hair tidying mode. Again, I've said this before, this is one of my favorite features in Portrait Pro aside from the face sculpting. So we're going to go in 1:1 so you guys can see the difference. And we're going to go over here and just move these sliders. There we go. Maybe bring it back a little bit. So notice the difference is a lot smoother over here than it is over here. It helps take out some of the noise also. We're going to bring it in just a little bit more, so right about there. Awesome. And it adds a little bit more kind of a vibrance to the hair, so that looks good. I'm not going to go into too much detail about removing stray hairs and whatnot, because we want to move right into Portrait Pro body. So, okay, now that I think for the most part everything looks good, let me just check eye controls. I always do these from full size, not just the face, because I want to see how it looks in relation to the rest of the picture. So yeah, see, that's a little too much right there. But we're going to go right about there and see how that looks. Bring it down just a little bit. For me, really, it's making sure that the white part of the eyes stand out the most, so that way they're more discernible. Sharpen eyes. We're going to take the brighten iris and bring it down just a tad, because she already has kind of a bright brown color. Okay, so everything pretty much looks good. So now, before we move on, we're going to save this preset and we're going to give it a name. Okay. Now, the reason why I do this is now I can go back and I can apply this to all of them. Let's see, go back, change settings, and we're going to do sample bridal portraits preset. Make sure this is checked, reapply these presets to all faces, click OK, and now it's going to apply that preset to all the pictures. And the next thing, all we have to do is go in and just make sure that the outlines are all correct. So as you can see over here, it's saving all the changes that we've made. But again, remember that we are only using JPEGs and saving to a subfolder, so we're not accidentally overwriting our original files. So while it's doing this, we're going to go in and just double check, make sure the outlines look good. All right, and I'm just going to go back in here real quick, make sure everything looks right. Jawline, awesome. It also helps too if you apply more sharpening to your images before you import them into Portrait Pro, because it helps it find the outlines a lot quicker. So, so yeah. Okay, so next we're moving in here. I just want to see how it looks. All right, now because we adjusted the eye earlier, that's kind of a more individual thing, just to make sure, because sometimes there we go. And we can also go in and repaint the hair if we want to, and go over the skin area as well. But like I said, just to kind of show you guys what we're going to do here, we're going to click back, or sorry, click on the next one. Okay, now this is a good example of doing a profile. So it can be a little bit tricky. It does take a little bit of practice, but also with the yellow dots, those are more of like the primary, like more important points of everything. So we're going to bring that in, bring that out, make sure the eyebrows look good. So yeah, you might have to spend a little bit more time when it comes to doing profiles, just because, like I said, it takes a little bit of practice. All right, let's move on. And for this one, we don't necessarily have to, there we go. We don't necessarily have to do any like basic, other adjustments and stuff, because the whole point of this is to just, get through these. So we're just going to click on the next thumbnail. All right. Now, if you notice, this one's got a little bit of motion blur, so it's not as sharp as the other ones. Yes, not all of my images are picture perfect. But we're just going to go in and adjust the lines, make sure everything looks snappy. And honestly, like I said before, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, but at the same time, it's you don't have to be, like super picky about it. All right, and then we're going to go here into face sculpt to go back to the eyes and just open that up a little bit more. There we go, and then we're going to go into, now she's got a bigger smile on here, so we're going to go into mouth and nose controls, and we're going to whiten the teeth a little bit more, clean them up, and also I do sharpening teeth whenever I do whitening and stuff, just to make sure that the detail, like the spaces between the teeth, don't get lost. There we go. All right. And we're going to go down to turning that off and that off. All right. And then let's see here. Did I already get this one? See, that's the other thing too. Like, it goes by so quickly that a lot of times I don't remember, if I already got these done or not. Yep, that looks good. We're going to go to the last one. I think that's the one that we already did our preset on. And then I think maybe the first one is the, yeah. The first one is probably the last one that we didn't do yet. So I know this is kind of taking a little bit longer than your standard tutorial, but then again, it's much better to know what you're doing when it comes to this bulk stuff. Bulk retouching, because if you get it wrong, then it's just going to jack up all your photos and you're going to have to start all over again. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand what's going on. And all right. Eyes look good. Let me just fix the eyebrow up here. Again, I'm just being picky. All right. Now the cool thing is, because we saved that preset for her specifically and we applied it to all of them, it's already got that saved. So it's already applying that preset to all these pictures. Just make sure skin coloring looks good. And I'm going to go right back into the face and just adjust the eye one more time. Whoops, wrong one. There we go, left. And ta-da! Okay. All right, so that's pretty much how you do bulk editing. It's saved all the adjustments to all the images into a new subfolder inside the same folder that I already imported all these from. So now all we got to do is close batch, and we're done. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is, in the next video, we're going to go in and I'm going to show you guys the new software, PortraitPro Body. We're going to kind of fish through it, just kind of as an introductory. I just got it from them about a week or two ago, and I wanted to kind of work through it together so that it doesn't look like I just automatically know what I'm doing, that it looks more like, we're kind of figuring it out together. But anyways, so Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, my name is Dustin Meyer. You can like and subscribe if you want. I'm going to put all the links down to try out the software down in the description column below. If you've got questions, just put them in the comments section, and I'll do my best to answer all your questions. So I know that these Portrait Pro retouching tutorials are really popular, and I know that it's been a while, but I did say a long time ago that I would do a bulk retouching episode. Whoops. So anyways, thanks again for watching. I'm Dustin Meyer, and make sure to subscribe for more upcoming tutorials, and I'll see you next time.